Hello, Lama from BakuDev here and welcome to the second part of our Steam multiplayer tutorial series. In this part we will be creating a basic main menu and also implement the logic to create sessions. And by the way, if you want to save some time and get right into making the actual game you're planning to do and not waste time with multiplayer setup, you can get this whole template on our Patreon. So let's get back into it. What we're now going to do is to create the actual main menu. And for that we're going back into our wg_main menu and we're going to throw in a border into the canvas panel. We're going to hit Ctrl Shift and click on here for the anchor to put it into the middle. Now we can size it. Let's do about 1300 times 800. Perfect. And give it another color so we can actually see it. Very nice. And now we're going to put a horizontal box into here and we're going to throw a vertical box into here and put it onto fill. Throw another vertical box into here, also put it onto fill. We're going to type into here 0.7 and on that vertical box 0.3, so it does not take up the whole space. And now we're going to add a text up here just for your game name. I'm just going to type game name into here. We're going to center it and now we're going to create some buttons. Just drag the button into here. Put a text into that and that will be our play button, and we're also going to give it some padding. Let's do about 30 and we're also going to center that on the vertical axis. And now we're going to duplicate these buttons because we need 3 of them. Let's reduce the padding a little bit on the bottom side. I guess 0 is enough because they got padding on the top side. And we're going to make this to settings with an S at the end, and that will be our quit button. We can also add some padding onto these. Or 20, oh no, let's just do 10. By the way, you can just select them by hitting Control and clicking on everyone, or just if you have them closed, you can also hit Shift, click the top one, and then you will have selected all of them. And if it's the same widget item, you can just change the settings for every one of them at the same time. Alright, what we're going to do now is turn them into variables by giving them an actual name up here and hit is variable. We're going to do that for the settings button as well. And the quit button obviously as well. Perfect. And into that vertical box we will put a widget switcher and put it to fill as well. And call that ws_switcher, make it to a variable as well, and into that we can put I guess size box for now and just duplicate it so we have 2. And just to demonstrate what the widget switcher will do, then I'm going to put the text in each one of these. The first one will be our play menu. Center it. The second one will be our settings menu later on. Center it also, and now we can hit compile, save, and we now can go over to the graph editor, delete all of these, and now we're going to create the on-clicked functions for the play menu. Let's put it up here. For the play menu, the settings menu, and the quit button. The quit button is quite forward. We'll just attach it to the quit game method and hit compile save. We can now put it down here. And for the play button, we will drag out the widget switcher right here and set active widget index. For the play menu, it can be left at 0. And on the settings menu, it can be put to 1, because in the widget switcher we have some indexes. This one is the 0 index and this one is the first index. So to switch it, you can use the set active widget index function. So let's demonstrate that real quick. We can go into this, we can play it in the viewport because we still don't need Steam. And if we now hit these buttons, we can see the menu will switch, which is awesome because we now can start creating the play menu. We can do it in here because we can then just export it to its own widget to keep things clean. But first, let's create it. We're going to start with a vertical box into that size box. And then we will drag a horizontal box in here. Then just take one button, hit Ctrl C to copy it and click on that, Ctrl V. And now we have the button. It now needs some padding at the bottom. And we will call the text create game. We don't want that to be a variable in the main menu because we will activate the variable in the external widget. But we're about to do that. Just call it create lobby or create game to keep it consistent. And save. What we are also going to do is to create a little checkbox for some parameters we will be passing over to the create lobby function we will be creating in a minute. And we can hit right click on here, wrap with, and then just search for horizontal box again, because we will need another text block next to it. We want to center it and call it LAN and just give that a little padding. How much does the button have? 30, so we're going to add 30 as well. And we're also going to give that like, I don't know, 10. Yeah, works. And now we will be duplicating that because we're going to give the option for friends only lobby. And now we will turn these two. We will give these two a name as well. It's cb_friends only. And that one is cb_LAN. And what we will be doing now is we will be creating another widget. So we go back into our content browser, search for widget blueprint, user widget, wg_play menu. And we're going to drag this one out so we have them side by side. And now we can just take the whole size box because that's our play menu at the moment. Ctrl C to copy it, go into here, Ctrl W to paste it, and then we can delete this one out of here and just search for the play menu. Just hit compile real quick. Play menu, drag it into the widget switcher. It has to be at index 1 because we just set that up. And now you can see it's looking the same, but it's not in this widget because we put it into the WG play menu. So we will now be continuing to work here. We can do desired for the size so it does not fill up the whole screen. And now we can start. Now we can start to turn these into variables for the play menu. Hit is variable for everything here. Create is variable, compile, save, go into the graph, delete these, button unclicked. And now we want to create a session when we are clicking this button, but at the moment we don't have any logic for that and we don't want to do it in the play menu because if you ever have another spot where you want to create games, this one will not be accessible, so we're going to put that logic, let me close that real quick, into the game instance we have created in the last episode. And we're going to open that. If it looks like that, just hit open full blueprint editor. Perfect. And now we will be creating a custom event and call it create session, and drag out here advanced, search for create session. It has to be the advanced session, that's very important. And we can switch that to 4 as well. And use LAN, we've just created a checkbox for that, which is why we're going to pass that in. And allow join via present friends only. We're going to drag that one in here as well. So we can pass these, and on success, what we're going to do then is open level by name. And we're going to type in the level name of your lobby or the level you want to open up. For me, it's lobby because we have named it like that in the last episode. You're just going to paste it in here. And you're going to have to open that and type in here !listen, because that makes sure that every player who will connect to that session will be taken to the level which was opened by the host. That's what !listen is for. And that's that. Now we can close that again, go back into our UI folder, open the play menu, and then open the graph editor. And in the graph editor we can get game instance. You can do that from every blueprint. And because we created our own, we will have to cast to it, cast to GI core. It does not have to be a normal cast because it will never fail, because we can be sure that it's the GI core, which is why I like to convert it to a pure cast. And out of that we can do the create session event, and now we will have to give the parameters the player will have checked by now, and I think it was called is checked. Yes, it was. So we will pass CB LAN into use LAN and take the friends only checkbox is checked, do it like so, and put it into here. Awesome. And that's basically the create session part. Let me check real quick if it looks good in the main menu. Just reorder the viewport real quick. And it does. We can check these two, create menu, so we can test this now. Yeah. Actually, we can't test, we still have to do one more thing I forgot. We have to head back into the game instance, and I forgot to pass the player controller, so you're going to have to drag out of the player controller and get player controller, and now we can test. So close that and start the game, and you can check these things here for LAN or friends only, hit create game, and you will be loaded into the lobby level. We can stop that, because what I like to do for some testing, you can go over here into the content browser, hit add, and add a feature or content pack, and we are going to add the third person content pack to the project, so we actually have a character we can test with. That's that, and what you can now do is delete the whole level prototyping folder, because we don't need that. You can just hit force delete. Perfect, and what we can do now is hit right click on content and update redirector references, just to make sure everything was deleted right, because Unreal sometimes has some problems with that. Hit save selected over here, and then we can go into the lobby level, and we are going to select let's just create our own. We're going to go into the core folder, go for lobby, and in the core folder, in the lobby folder, we are going to create a blueprint class, game modes, and we're going to select the game mode base, call it gm_lobby, open it up, and for the player controller class, we're going to select the BP third person player controller, and for the default pawn class, we can use BP third person character, hit compile save. go into here for world settings. We're going to select GM_lobby, test it real quick, and everything works. It's the third person character. And if we now go back into our main menu level, hit play and create game, we can see that we are in there with the third person character, but we're still in the UI only mode, which is why we're going to head back into the lobby level and go over here, open level blueprint, and on begin play we're going to get the player controller, set input modes game only, and show mouse cursor false. Compile, save. It works here obviously, and if we now go into our main menu and create a game, we can see that it now works. If you already have your own player controller you want to use, you can obviously use that and you don't have to import the third person character, but I just like to do it for testing because it makes things much easier. Yeah, and that's it for this episode. You're now able to create your sessions through this menu. In the next episode we're going to take care of the friends list, which will be displayed here, where you can join your friends which are already in the lobby. We are also going to add a pause menu in the lobby where you can invite your friends so you never have to open the Steam overlay. I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you still have any questions left, don't hesitate to join our Discord and ask them, or leave a comment so everybody can see the answer I give you. And please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, see you in the next one. Bye.